Hello, folks. Coming to you not live exactly, but from here from Scotland. I am. Let's see, what day is it? I'm having a hard time keeping track. Tuesday, and Tuesday, and here it's 7 o'clock. Over there, I guess it's about 2 o'clock, and so you guys are still working as I'm doing this. So I figured I would take a minute and do a quick. Um, Video for our staff meeting. First, new and goods. Okay. First, new and good. I am new and good. I'm driving on the left side and I'm mostly staying on the left side. That's a good thing. Um, and I have not gotten any accidents. That's a good thing. Um, I am here today in a 1700s croft home that we're renting on an Airbnb, and I'm enjoying it. My mother and I are doing great. We've seen a bunch of stuff, are enjoying it. Um, I I was excited today. I went and saw my well. I have Deb and I have two estates here in Scotland. One is a total of 2 square feet, and the other one is a total of 10 square feet. And so I went to visit them, and today I visited the 10 square foot one, and I want to tell you, um, if I could move onto 10 square feet of land, I would move there because my goodness, the site, it's beautiful. It's in the woods. It's a little bit farther back. Once you actually got to it, you couldn't see too much because it's in the woods. But 100 feet ahead of it, it's clear and has amazing mountain views, and it has amazing. You can see the lock down below. It's just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. So I'm pretty excited about that. So those are my new and goods. I guess I gave two since I'm the last one, most likely. And so there you go. You got your two new and goods. So today, as I left a little thing that I've asked that the leadership team do with you, which is a follow up from when we spoke 2 months ago on the outcome orientation. I don't know if you remember. Let me remind you real quick. We talked about the problem orientation, which is driven by anxiety, and which produces reactions. And then we also have our outcome orientation, which is driven by our passion to see the outcome accomplished. And the way we do that is through baby steps, taking that next step, as small as it might be or as big as it might be, taking the next step and moving towards the outcome. And so today, I'm asking you guys to work on outcome statements. Or should I really say, I screwed up there. I told myself I was not going to use that 2 word phrase. Let me just put it this way. You're going to work on outcomes. Outcomes that you are passionate about relating to Common Heart, and specifically related to your department. You're going to be working together in your teams, and working on outcomes that you want to have. So I want to talk to you about a couple different things and give you some examples. One, an outcome is always stated in the present tense. You're envisioning the future, and what does the future look like? Now, that might be the future of, might be a day down the road, or it might be 6 months down the road, might be a year down the road, might be 20 years down the road, or 30 years down the road. It doesn't matter. It's that envisioning of what that is that you actually want to take place. In the case of this team that you're working on, it's the team's desired outcome that we're going to be working on. So let me give you a couple examples, okay? Let's talk about Common Heart. Our outcomes that we're passionate about are in our vision and in our mission statements. Okay, so one outcome is a small revolution of kindness. We want to see our community transformed through active, intentional kindness. People loving their neighbor, people meeting needs, people being there when is necessary, and even when it's not necessary, they're just there. They're having a listening ear. They are loving their neighbor. They are seeing a need and meeting a need. Period. That was an outcome statement, or I should say an outcome. And you'll notice a couple things about that outcome. I stated what it is I want in the present tense, this small relation of kindness. And then I described what that is. That is our neighbors, people loving each other, listening to each other, revolutionizing or transforming our community. And we could do a little bit more about what that looks like. But that is the outcome. That is an outcome statement. Another piece of our outcome would be eradicating food insecurity. Well, that's a pretty big, truthfully, both of these are very big goals and very big outcomes. And so eradicating food insecurity, we want there to be nobody hungry in our community. Ideally, we want that solved by a small relation of kindness where folks make sure to meet the needs of their neighbors. But we are a vehicle to create that, meeting that need. So our food pantries are vehicles for our neighbors to love a neighbor and to serve. And that's what I'm envisioning. See, do you see the envisioning piece of that? Okay. So we want nobody to be hungry. We want no child to go to bed hungry. We want a family when they come home to not be fretting about what they're going to be eating. We certainly don't want them to go to bed hungry or getting up in the morning and have no food in order to go off to school. So that's the kind of thing. So I stated a lot of that in a negative. A better way to put that would be, we want everybody to have all the food they need so that they can grow and learn and be, forgive me, for some of you, I don't think I need to ask your forgiveness, to be all that they were created to be, right? That they were created, all that they were created to be. That's what we hope for. That's what we want. So an outcome would be, there's no hunger. And what that means is everybody has all the food they need to grow, to function in our society, that they have no needs. Instead, they have an abundance. And I would go so far as to say they have an abundance to share. Now that goes into the other piece, eliminating generational poverty. Because generational poverty is talking about no more, we don't want to see people generation after generation not having enough resources to participate in our community. And so there you have this idea of having that everybody would have everything that they need as far as resources go, and they'd be available to them. They would be they'd be fulfilling their full potential, okay? And that they would be fully engaged in our community, and there would be a sense of belonging and a sense of being a part of, and a sense of being a community of people, okay? That's just me off the top of my head. I didn't really write all this stuff out, but trying to flesh out, and you'll notice a couple things. That's kind of the big picture. That's an outcome. It's an outcome that truthfully might be too much for people. But we can break that down even further. And so we can create outcomes for our organization and for our department. One outcome I did create and took steps towards was looking at what Common Heart is. What would I want Common Heart to be? And one of the things that I stated in an outcome, because quite frankly, I was so caught up in the problems that were going on, I stated, I want the place to be, Common Heart to be, a place where people work together, collaborate together, cooperate together, where there's peace and harmony, and we are working towards this shared mission and vision together. That, again, that might be a little bit bigger, but what that did for me was focus me on what I needed to do. So some of the steps I took out of that was, we started talking about the idea of, well, how do we have a workplace that it does have that outcome in it? And so as a result, one of the things we did was we got together and we discussed, several of us, there was about 6 or 7 of us that got together, board members, staff members, leadership. we got together. Matter of fact, as I recall, Glenda, I think you're about the only one left here that was at this meeting. And we just brainstormed what it was that made Common Heart different and what it was that we wanted Common Heart to be that would be different. Okay. And we came up with, when we boiled it all down, we came up with our 6 core values. Those themselves, the core values themselves, become outcomes. Intentional kindness, and there's a definition that goes with that. Okay, and then active engagement, and there's a definition. That definition is an outcome. And so that became something that we can work towards. And so we took that piece of outcome, those definitions of what those things were, and then we broke it down with a little bit more work on what they look like. And we put 3, you might say, goals as to how that looks. And so those are, matter of fact, you guys see them every time we do the how are we doing, where are we going, how you doing meetings. And hopefully as we continue working with this, you will be seeing that more and more as we have little meetings between staff and their leadership to to coach toward and to toward that annual meeting that we have, the how are we doing, where are we going meeting. And so anyhow, I hope that makes it a little bit clear. You can have, and the key about these things, these outcomes, they need to be something that we care about. The more we care about it, the more value it is. And so when you guys work together in your groups to come up with some outcome statements, some of them might be, defined as achieving a 15% increase. That's an outcome. Okay. Not worded that way, but that's an outcome. Or it might also be much more broader picture toward the future. But either way you do it and however you do it, we'd like for you guys to work on putting together some outcomes. Maybe one big one for the organization, not for the organization, for your department. And then maybe some other ones that might break down into smaller bite-sized pieces, outcomes that are at least going to take you at least a year to accomplish. All right. So anyhow, if you have any questions, I'm not there to answer them, but Elizabeth will answer them for you. Have a great day. Thank you. I hope you have a great staff meeting.